In today's news, Mazda's new special edition Mx-5, as well as maybe the next generation of Mx-5. EVs are selling well for Hyundai, and Vauxhall's planning a sub £23,000 EV. Hello, I'm David from Eden Motor Group. Today, let's start with the rumoured special editions that Car Scoop has spotted. There may be an extended cycle refresh of the Mx-5 ND. The current Mx-5 has been with us since 2015. I myself bought one and absolutely love it. Apparently, Shigeti Sayatu, program manager for the Mx-5, spoke to the Australian media car guides at the Japan Mobility Show. And I quote, "We like to do whatever we can utilizing the ND because we think it has a very high potential. We are already planning to make something very cool. We are already thinking about cool special editions." Sayato also apparently said that they will deliver a fully electric Mx-5. Once the shift to EVs is even more accelerated, he exclaimed. He said that they don't look at a specific time frame for the launch of the Mx-5 NE and that they are waiting for new battery tech so that they can get an electric version of the Mx-5 under 1,000 kilograms, which, to be honest, has always been Mazda's target weight. I myself had an Mx-5 ND and I loved it to pieces. I treated that thing like an absolute baby, and I would love to see an EV version in the future, especially if they manage to keep that range down and the mileage over 200 miles. So hopefully Mazda can pull it off. But speaking of the next generation of Mx-5, this was shown off recently. This is the SP Concept, a hybrid rotary car, much like the MX-30 REV, and we will cover that in December, so make sure you stay subscribed, like the video and all that so you get notified when we cover that. I'm going to go through everything of how the rotary works with the electric motors. It's going to be an awesome video, so yeah, definitely worth waiting around for. Mazda unveiled the SP at the Tokyo Auto Show, looking very similar to the Vision Study model from last year. The concept measures 164 inches long, 72.8 inches wide and 45.3 inches tall, with a 102-inch wheelbase. This makes it about 10 to 11 inches longer than the current Mx-5. Under the bonnet, there is a hybrid system, although to me it sounds more like the generator version of the MX-30 REV, where all of the engine is doing is powering the electric motors to make sure they have enough energy, or not powering the motors, sorry, powering the battery to make sure that has enough energy to power the wheels. We don't know how many motors it has, but we do know that it has 2 rotary engines in it. Mazda say that the concept is designed for customers who desire a car that simply embodies the joy of driving, touts a lower center of gravity, and a perfect 50-50 weight distribution, as I guess we expected, because of course Mazda would do that. The cabin is very minimalist. It's got a small screen, and there's sliders on the center console, there's a digital gauge cluster, and it has a track map of Monaco, if you look very closely. Interior is all suede. Obviously this would be all subject to changes, even if the car does come out, but there is debate. Could this be an RX-9? Could this be an MX-5? Is a big debate going on right now. Moving over to Hyundai. EVs have been up and down over the last few years. They've been selling like crazy, they've not been selling like crazy. It's been there and thereabouts. But Hyundai said, according to Autoblog, that it would not delay plans to roll out its new electric vehicles and was very upbeat about the prospect for continued growth this year, which is a bit of a change because a lot of companies are actually scaling back their EV production. Electric vehicle sales are growing strongly, but not as much as car makers had forecast, with demand hit by high interest rates. Hyundai said, "We do not plan to dramatically reduce EV production or our lineup due to likely near-term hurdles, as we believe EV sales will be growing in the longer term." And that was from Hyundai's executive vice president. Interestingly enough, for Hyundai, sales increased by 8.7% to 41 trillion won. I have absolutely no idea how many dollars or pounds or what that is, but that's a lot. That's a big number. And apparently hybrid and EV sales also grew by a third, making it up to around 169,000. So there obviously is still a demand for high quality EVs and hybrids. And finally, look at this. This is awesome. Vauxhall is considering the development of an entry-level city car that will be priced from around £22,000, according to the boss of the parent company, Opel anyway. The new entry point is envisioned as a diminutive, urban-oriented proposition to sit next to or below the Vauxhall Corsa. To be honest, this makes a lot of sense, with Renault recently showing off their new revised Renault 5, and with Kia working on the EV2. As well as cars like the Fiat 500 EV being very popular certainly as a second car, there is almost certainly a big gap in the market that not a lot of people have tapped into yet, having that cheap small electric car to have a nice run around in. Vauxhall has several options it can use to engineer a fully electric city car. Stellantis has a range of platforms, including the STLA small architecture, which replaced the ECMP platform, which is used by the current Corsa, and along with the 208 as well. But what do you think? Do you think that a below £23,000 electric car is something that the market could do with? Are you excited about that Mx-5, or are you surprised that Hyundai is still plowing forward with the sales of EVs? Let me know in the comment section below. See you next time. Bye-bye.